Vatican is the smallest country, but its museums belong among the grandest in the world. Their origins date back to 1506, when Pope Julius II created the courtyard of the statues. 500 years later, the Vatican Museums preserve and display the legacy of culture, history, and especially beauty that the Roman pontiffs have collected over the centuries. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, visitor numbers have decreased sharply. This year, though, the museums are hoping to welcome fascinated tourists and art experts from around the world in the millions again. Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Thonhauser met with the director of the Vatican Museums, Dr. Barbara Jatta.
For this year, 2022, what are the big things that you're looking forward? What are the exhibits that are really important?
Many projects in a time of restarting and rehaving the museum, not full of visitors, but at least in a number that in some ways help us to go on. This is the year of Canova. Probably in the fall we will celebrate Canova in many different ways with different projects with other institutions.
Antonio Canova was born in 1757 in Treviso, in the north of Italy, and became one of the most important sculptors in the neoclassical period. He was sent by Pope Pius VII to Paris to bring back what Napoleon's troops had stolen from Rome, and especially from the papal collections. This year, the Vatican Museums will not only celebrate him as an artist, but also as a great visionary for conceptualizing a modern museum. He laid important groundwork for what the Vatican Museums are today.
Here you have artifacts of human creativity in a very large range of interests. This is the key and the focus of these universal collections, and of course it's not only religion collection, but the fact that popes during the centuries and cardinals, bishops and lay people at their service preserved them, wanted to, from collection, migrate into museums is so important in terms that these values are the Christian values. What is behind the creativity and these artifacts is such an important aspect for the Christian and the Catholic thought that is so important, is exactly the key of these collections.
The key of this collection is also this openness to humanity as a whole,
exactly.
No? Because there's also a collection of modern art, but we don't really recognize the Catholic Church as being at the forefront of contemporary art. Would you say that this is not really true?
I don't think this is completely true. When Pope established almost 50 years ago a contemporary art collection, just at the beginning of his pontificate, he asked all the artists to come and have a meeting in the Sistine Chapel. And in this incredible universal place as the Sistine Chapel, a chapel devoted to, of course, spirituality, but also to art, he, in front of all the artists of that time, not only painters, but sculpture, poets and musicians and other people in the different field of arts, told them, I'm sorry, we have interrupted the dialogue with you, and we need you. We need you because the artist is poet and prophets, and we need poets and prophets, poets that can synthesize values in few words. And a poet in terms of visual art, of course, is someone who can explain with the image different aspect of the spirituality. And prophets because they can go on, they look before others.
They also reach people.
See, and since then, our collection of contemporary art grown. Of course, as is contemporary, of course, is the one who has more acquisition every year.
A poet and prophets, that's a wonderful image.
And with this image of artists who should be poets and prophets, bringing the message of Jesus Christ to the world, we thanked Dr. Jatta and let her return to her museums, a treasure chamber of 5 centuries of culture, history, and faith.